Charaka, the founding father of Ayurveda, says happiness comes from dissolving the self and annihilating the mind. But to me, dissolving the self always seemed like a very un-Ayurvedic thing to do. Hi, my name is John Immel, and I'm the director of the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda. Instead of dissolving, Ayurveda seems focused on nourishing the body and existence. Ayurveda seeks to balance the doshas, the gunas, the tastes, and the elements so that you can feel good and thrive. So for 10 years, kind of like a bad dream, my attempts to integrate Charaka's model of bliss with Ayurveda's nurturing failed, kind of like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. So I began to wonder, what is a model for mental health that resembles Ayurveda's methods and techniques? And is there even a mental health model similar to Ayurveda's process? Is there a model of psychological wellness resembling Ayurveda's very simple yet powerful method? So the search for an answer to this question led me to a faraway culture, the ancient civilization of Greece, a culture that communicated with India in antiquity. And here's what I found in that culture. It's called the cardinal virtues of Greek antiquity. And let me explain what those are. According to the ancient Greeks, happiness comes from living according to design. And this means basically that you make decisions in alignment with the truth of your human nature and how the world was made. And the idea here is that if you operate against truth, you fight an impossible battle that leads to hopelessness and confusion. But when you work with the truth, you find happiness and fulfillment. So the study of the virtues is basically the study of how to live well according to design. And specifically, it's the study of the virtues is the study of the attitudes and habits that a person can develop in order to live well. So what qualities of mind and heart will make you happy? What kind of habits will make you truly happy? And the study of the virtues, by definition, is basically your answer to that question, the attitudes and habits that lead to happiness. Put another way, the study of the virtues are the study of personality traits that are good for you. So as Ayurveda is the study of bodily habits, routine, lifestyle, the virtues are the study of personality and emotional habits. And you can say that the study of the virtues is a near perfect analog to Ayurveda's study of the body, down to really uncanny detail. So Ayurveda focuses on temperament of the body, the virtues focus on temperament of the mind. And I even wonder if, ancient India knew of the virtues and created Ayurveda to be a complement to it. This is a speculation on my part, but the virtues are, and I know that there was some communication between Ayurveda, between the Vedic peoples and the Indus River Valley, which I'll talk about in just a second. Anyway, at the root of Ayurveda's entire paradigm is something called the 20 gunas. And these 20 gunas are to the body what the virtues are to the mind. Ayurveda balances the gunas to maintain a healthy body, and similarly, in ancient Greece, they sought to balance the virtues to make a healthy mind. And so the models end up being really similar on that level. Growth in the virtues has many benefits, particularly in creating a healthy perspective on reality. Two, helping you diagnose character strengths and weaknesses. And three, pinpointing how to grow in excellence and wisdom. So when Alexander, and here's where that cross-cultural communication happened. Around 2,300 years ago, Alexander the Great conquered the Indus River Valley. And whether you think he was great or not really depends on whether you were probably Greek or Indian at that time. Around that time, there was a lot of cross-cultural communication between the ancient Greeks and the Vedic peoples. And so they shared knowledge and philosophy with one another. And this event took place about 100 years before Ayurveda's main canonical text, the Charaka Samhita, was written. And around that time, Ayurveda emerged as a healthcare model with many similarities to the Greek study of the virtues and to Greek medicine. So the Greek word for virtue is arete, and arete means excellence of the whole person. Arete has this sense of a person reaching their full potential. So when you study virtue, you're studying your full potential in a way. You're studying yourself not only as you are, but who you are meant to be. The Greeks often ask themselves this question of like, what is the human nature? What is the nature of things? So the study of virtue is an aid to help you discover your true nature. That's why it was created. And it's the study specifically of habits and temperament that aid fulfillment, satisfaction in life, and happiness. So the world was made in a certain way. You can't fight reality and expect to be happy. To be happy, you need to know your nature and reality. And that's why the study of the virtues is the study of attitudes that help you live in harmony with reality. They give you the right amount of acceptance for the world as it is, and the right amount of fortitude and strength to make the world a better place. So it leads you to right relationship with the world. Well, what are the main virtues? What are the four cardinal virtues? They are prudence, justice, temperance, and fortitude. And you may have heard those words before. They may be familiar to you, but most people don't really know what they mean. And I'm just going to shed some light on that in just a moment. These virtues are best understood as the four main categories of virtues. And so there are many sub-virtues underneath them as well. And let me go through them. So prudence is knowing what is good for you and how to achieve it. And basically, prudence reveals the truth of how things are. So once you know what's good for you and how to achieve it, you still have to do it. And that's what justice is. Justice is doing what is good. Justice is what you do with the truth, especially giving others what you owe them. So prudence and justice go hand in hand. Fortitude is doing something good when you don't want to, especially when it's scary or difficult. And temperance is kind of the opposite. Temperance is not doing something that's bad for you, even when you really want to. And the example there is not eating the whole chocolate cake when one piece is enough. So clearly we need to know the truth, we need to be able to do it, we need the strength to do it when we don't want to, and we also need the strength to not do something bad for ourselves when we really want to do it. So these virtues and four categories of virtues are very basic, but also very profound, just like Ayurveda is profound. So they're not some secret hidden knowledge of the mystics. It's a practical tool for everyday life, just like Ayurveda is. Sometimes Ayurveda is explained in very mystical terms, but at its core, Ayurveda is simply a practical tool for everyday living. And that's why I like it so much. And it's also why I like the virtues so much. Like Ayurveda, development of the virtues is cultivated through habits, routine, and your lifestyle. And this study gives you a firm grasp of reality and an ability to respond well to the circumstances of everyday life. So all people are united in their desire for satisfaction and happiness. Happiness is the motivating force behind every person's whole being. Happiness is that perfect good which satisfies all of human desires. But if you want to have a good life, you must choose a path to get there, right? You must seek out a path that leads to that good living. You must ask yourself, what kinds of happy choices are going to put me on the path to what's good for me? Ayurveda is the art of living. It describes the lifestyle, diet, and herbs that are good for life in the body. The study of the virtues is the study of what is good for life in the mind. Together, Ayurveda and the virtues will keep you happy, healthy, and well. So thanks. This says, again, my name is John Immel. I'm the director of Joyful Belly, and this talk was sponsored by the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda. Take care.